If you're a fan of that Shelby GT350 track pack styling and want the convenience of a pre-painted part, well then you should definitely consider checking out SpeedForm's GT350 Style Spoiler, shown here in black for your 2015 and newer Mustang. Now, SpeedForm's option is constructed from durable ABS plastic and is finished in an OE quality Ford gloss black paint for right around $150. Installation is going to go down one of two different ways. If you have a factory spoiler installed, you're looking at a straightforward job here that requires no drilling whatsoever. On the other hand, if you do not currently have a spoiler or wing attached, there will be some minor drilling involved. So because of all this and the variables, the site's just going to go 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here and call it a couple of hours to complete from start to finish, as we'll show you later in the video. Now, the spoiler category is a rather large one and will feature mild stuff like the factory blade type spoilers all the way down to the gnarly carbon fiber GT350R stuff and everything in between. Now, the option that we're talking about here today is another factory inspired part and one that I think personally will live somewhere in the middle between mild to wild in regards to overall sizing and styling impact, and that is the standard GT350 track pack spoiler. Now, prior to the 2019 model year, Ford did release 2 versions of the standard GT350, basically the non-R variant, and that was the Tech Pack and also the Track Pack car. Tech Pack had a very basic and unassuming blade style spoiler, which I thought was almost too subtle for the mighty Shelby. Now, the Track Pack style spoiler, on the other hand, fit the car perfectly and offered a good amount of aggressiveness, if you will, for a spoiler. Sure, it's not as crazy as the GT350R option, but let's face it, that spoiler is a little much for most casual Mustang owners out there. This guy, on the other hand, perfect, right in the middle, and just look great on the car. But let's focus in on the track pack style spoiler that we have here from SpeedForm, and on the surface you do have a very durable and lightweight ABS plastic build with a lot of the same design detail as that OE Shelby option. The flip side is it's going to be far less dough than buying an OE part directly from Ford, and you're also getting the benefit of it being pre-painted right out of the box in this nice gloss black paint job. Now, this would be ideal for owners out there either looking to match a black car or maybe just prefer the color contrast on any other color Mustang. I do also want to point out here, gang, that we also offer the same exact spoiler on the site, but pre-painted in any different color to match your ride, but the price does jump up dramatically to north of $400. Well, let's get into the installation here with the SpeedForm spoiler, and again, one of 2 different things to consider. If you have a factory spoiler already installed, there's no drilling necessary. Just have to remove that factory spoiler first. On the other hand, if you do not have anything installed on that deck lid to begin with, well then you will need to drill. There's really no getting around that. But to give you a better idea of how this is going to go down, here's a detailed walkthrough of the job along with a quick tool breakdown.
Tools used for this install are a clip and panel removal tool, a Phillips head screwdriver, a 10mm socket, a small plastic scraper, a 1/4 inch ratchet, an eraser wheel, a power drill, and some 3M general purpose adhesive remover. So before you can install your new spoiler, you're going to have to remove your old spoiler. In order to do this, we're going to pop the trunk, remove the hardware and the interior panel. Now I'm going to use an interior panel tool to remove all the clips that hold this interior panel on and get access to the screws. Next, I'm going to use a ratchet with a 10mm socket and remove the 4 nuts that secure the wing to the trunk lid. There's 1 on either side and 2 in the middle. And I don't want to lose that. Gravity is your friend. So there's also a layer of double stick tape underneath the spoiler that holds it to the deck lid. I'm going to use a plastic tool and a little bit of perseverance and slowly work my way from one side to the other to pry this off. Now that we've broken all the 3M loose, we can remove our spoiler. Okay, so as you can see, there's a little bit of double stick tape residue left on the trunk lid. I'm going to use an eraser wheel with a drill, but if you don't have one of these at home, what you can do is use a little bit of adhesive remover and some elbow grease. It'll take a little bit longer, but it'll get the job done. Now that I've got the heavy residue off, I can go back with a microfiber and some adhesive remover and clean up the rest. Now, you can peel off the backing for the bolt hole gaskets and install them to the bottom of the spoiler. Before I install the spoiler to the deck lid, I'm going to peel back the corners of the double stick adhesive to make it easier for me to get everything lined up. So now we're ready to install the spoiler to the deck lid. This part's a little bit tricky. You have to line up the 4 holes with the 4 holes in the trunk lid, hold it in place, and get the screw started. You have to be very careful when doing this, otherwise you could drop the screws inside the deck lid and you can't get them out. Now that I have all 4 screws very loosely started, I can close the trunk lid, make sure everything's lined up, and start peeling my tape and applying some pressure. Now I can apply some light pressure. And finally go back and tighten up your 4 screws. Now just throw your interior panel back in and you're good to go. And that's going to wrap up this review and install of the SpeedForm GT350 Style Track Pack Rear Spoiler for your 15 to 2020 Mustang. Thanks for watching, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.